Hello, today we are going to be talking about finding the greatest common factor of polynomial equations.
Here's our polynomial equation, 4x cubed plus 8x squared plus 12x.
As you can see, the greatest common factor of this equation is 4x.
When you multiply 4x to x squared plus 2x plus 3, you get the sample equation above.
Now you make a generic rectangle and a diamond. You take the x squared from the parentheses and you put it at the top left corner of the box. Then you take the 12, which is at the end of the equation in the parentheses, then you put it at the bottom right corner of the generic rectangle. After, you multiply the 2 and get 12x squared, which you place at the top of the diamond, and then you get the 2x from the middle of the equation in the parentheses and you place it at the bottom of the diamond. Now you have to find two numbers that multiply and equal 12x squared and add up to equal 2x. Now we can try using the numbers 6x and 2x. As you can see, 6x and 2x can multiply and equal 12x squared, but they cannot add up and equal 2x because they end up adding up to equal 8x. So now we have to try two different numbers. Now let's try the numbers 3x and 4x. 3x and 4x can multiply to equal 12x squared, but when you add them, they equal 7x and not 2x. Therefore, you cannot use these two to complete the diamond. Let's try two more numbers, 12x and 1x. 12x times 1x can equal 12x squared, but when they add up, they equal 13x. Therefore, they do not complete the diamond problem. Our only other option is to see this equation as not factorable. Here's a problem you can try to factor. 3x cubed plus 9x squared minus 12x. I'll give you a few seconds to factor out the greatest common factor of this equation. I hope you also factored out 3x from the equation and got 3x times x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now I will give you time to set up your generic rectangle and see if it matches what I get. I hope you put x squared in the top left corner of your box and minus 4 on the bottom right corner of your box. Now I will give you time to set up your diamond. I got negative 4x squared on top and 3x on the bottom of my diamond. I hope you did too. Now I will give you time to find two numbers that multiply to equal negative 4x squared and add up to equal 3x. I hope you got 4x and negative 1x like I did. As you can see, 4x and negative 1x multiply to equal negative 4x squared and add up to equal 3x. After you have found the two numbers that multiply to equal negative 4x squared and add up to equal 3x, you can place each of them in the remaining spots of the generic rectangle. Now you have to find the two numbers that add up to equal x squared. As you can see, you can't have two numbers, you have to have two variables, which would be x, and you place those on the outside of the generic rectangle. Now there's a remainder next to the top x, and you have to multiply the x on the left side to a number to get negative 1x. And what's x times something to equal negative 1x? That would be x times negative 1 equals negative 1x. Now, there's a remaining spot on the bottom one, and there's a 4x in that box. And so you have to do x times 4 to get 4x. Now, your answer would be x minus 1 times x plus 4.